Welcome back to another episode of Pressing Forward Podcast. Uh, Another special guest we have today, Loli Gomez, sports performance coach based in Huntington, California, former San Diego basketball alum as well. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. Just let the people know
Thank you.
and what you kind of have going on. Who are you?
Okay. So Loli Gomez, thank you for having me. Um, I'm originally from Orange County, Huntington Beach, California. And so grew up playing basketball. Played basketball, graduated in 2019 from San Diego State. So was able to take my skills to the college level. Shortly thereafter, after graduating, I went into the business realm and then decided after doing that for a little bit, like it wasn't the best for me as far as a passionate standpoint. Um, After graduating, I always try to stay active. And when you're always an athlete, you always are trying to get better every day, or like you're very goal oriented. So, stay fit myself. And after figuring out and really getting deeper into my um, health and fitness era, I decided like, okay, let me get into being a personal trainer. And so then did some personal training for a little bit. And then I decided, okay, I was an athlete and I really like dealing with athletes. Like their mindset is always trying to be the best. You can correct them and they're just striving for more.
Yeah.
So that was about 3 years ago. Started working with or started training. And then about a year and a half ago, started working specifically with athletes. And then so honing in on that, and that just takes a lot of education, research, especially when you have a specific athlete who has a specific need or injury, you really got to make sure that you're on top. Like, okay, how do I make sure the mobility is okay, flexibility, strength. If your basketball and football does a lot of like lateral movements,
Yeah.
so making sure that the tendons are open, light, and like flow like a butterfly, for lack of better words. So it just takes a lot, but I love it because it's like I said, from an athletic standpoint, you're always trying to get better. So it's kind of like me still being in a sport, but I'm helping athletes within their sport. Um, so I've been over here transitioned to Texas for a little bit. I'm at an internship at Sports Academy, and that's just helping me open up my eyes to both professional athletes on the level of NBA and NFL, learning, especially on the NFL side, um, learning different what works within the position because I don't think that that's for someone who grew up playing basketball, like it's similar, but it's not. So yeah, just learning, trying to grow every day. And then the goal is obviously one day to be a world renowned like coach within this space. And I know that seems very large, but like it's also attainable. So yeah, just like everybody's trying to be better every day.
Absolutely. And even on that note, I mean, if your goals don't challenge you, if they don't call you to kind of step out of your comfort zone, then you're probably not setting them high enough. So on that note, yeah, set that goal,
Right.
right? So and you talked about a lot of things there. I mean, you started off in the business realm and kind of figured out quickly that that probably wasn't for you. And being able to be in, the space that you're in now is more passionate work for you. Talk about your journey even getting to this point. I mean, you played basketball at San Diego State, but you also transferred from to San Diego State. Coming from a different school. So, what was that journey like for you?
Right. That was tough. Tough in the sense of both mentally and physically. Like I was prepared for it. My mind knew that I was ready for it, but it was the physical getting there. A couple of things. One, like the speed of the game is faster at the Division 1 level. I went from a D2 to a D1, faster, stronger, more demanding. That's like literally a job right below, especially at the D1 level, like right below, professionals. So I always had that athleticism and competitive nature in me from high school. I just didn't see my worth, for a lack of better words, going straight from high school to a Division 1 institution. I kind of just settled for a D2. But I also think that it was worth the journey because at that time I wasn't. I would have been successful. I think I needed to go through some things at the D2 level personally and athletically to succeed at the D1 level. Um, but yeah, from that journey, played 2 years at a D2, and then I decided like I'm not being challenged enough. So sophomore year decided, okay, I'm gonna transfer from the sophomore year going into my transfer year. I got in a really bad car accident that took me out from playing or going to school for about 6 months. And so that takes a lot on a person, no matter if you're an athlete or not, but especially as an athlete, like look forward to going to training every day. Maybe not like on an everyday basis, but after like a week, you're like, yo, what happened
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
schedule? Like I don't have lift today that way. And then also not going to school. So I was just at home, like in my feelings, trying to figure out what's my next move. I'm young. I was a college athlete. Like, how do I get back to that point? So it just takes a lot of regressing to progress. And it's tough, but you get through it just like anything in life. And, and I think really taking responsibility of like your actions or the steps along the journey is important. But yeah, that's just like a little snippet.
Got you. Got you. And I mean, you talked about having gone through a car accident, right? And I'm sure that that had some impact on you, whether that be both physically and emotionally. Can you describe that moment and how that situation has impacted you since then?
It cut out. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so I said so you talked about going through like a car accident at some point. And so I was just wondering like what impact did
Okay.
that sort of have on you, both like physically and emotionally? And then how did that really impact you?
So going through the car accident, it was actually funny because I was driving my car, going to go hang out with friends that I thought were my friends at the time. Um, and I was sober, like driving by myself, no biggie, going to hang out again with friends I thought were my friends. And when it happened, so it was like I'm driving on the freeway, my car hit the median, spun twice, landed facing traffic, got hit again. But a car hit me on the front right real well initially. So I think it was like 4 or 5 impacts.
Yeah,
Um, used Jaws of Life to get me out, and the doctor in emergency room were like, based on the logistics of the accident, like you shouldn't be here. There's angels looking up over you, and so that aspect one opened up my eyes, and I was like, this doctor doesn't even know me. Like, why would he say that? Um, and then, using Jaws of Life, like when you see those things up front and it's happening to you, like you see it on the news, you see it on TikTok and stuff like that. But when it's happening to you, like that's a whole nother thing. It's very eye-opening experience.
yeah,
Um, so then fast forward to I didn't sleep for like 2, 3 days, one of adrenaline and like my mind's racing. I'm like stiff. Um, no broken bones, mind you. I just had a traumatic brain injury. To this day, I still have like some things that bother me from it, but nothing like debilitating.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, it just took that journey of sitting in bed for whatever it was, 2 weeks being sore, like some lacerations, cuts, but again, no broken bones.
yeah,
Had to go to physical therapy basically because I had like a lot of knots and tight. Um, and I couldn't see, so I wear glasses now because of it. But you really think when things like that happen, you think about like, okay, what am I doing in my life? Like, why is this thing happening to me? I felt that helped me get closer in my journey in faith at the time. And I think also um it was the universe, God, whatever you believe in, telling me, like, okay, you're continuously driving on this road, literally this road. You're going to something that is going to kill you. But like, I'm gonna let this stop. This accident happened, boom, stop. We're gonna make a detour, and then you figure out which way we're gonna go to make a good like change in your life. So that changed everything for me. I probably did after PT about 6 months. I spent 3, 4 months, went to a JC for a little bit, caught up on my classes. My sister happened to be playing at San Diego State around the time of my accident. She was a big time hooper, nationally recruited. She talked to the coach and was like, My sister's a hooper. Like, she just wants to be on the team. Give her a chance. So the coach was like, "Hey, Lo, like, don't know if I can give you any money, but like you can help out. Maybe you can grab towels, whatever." And me, like, I just pretty much lost everything in my eyes. I was like, I just want to be a part of the team. Like, just let me in, and I'll
Yeah.
prove you wrong, right? She was like, okay, cool. So I had to go to school for after all the PT and everything. I went to school, summer school out of JC for 3 months, and then I was doing like two, three a day, just getting right, getting back into shape, getting stronger, getting my shot back up. Fast forward, I'm there at San Diego State. It's our we're in like a fall, preseason, getting ready for our scrimmage. The scrimmage, we go in, it's our first game of the season. I go in the last minute and a half of the game, and the coach puts me in, and I got a charge, a steal, and assist within a minute and a half.
Oh
So
wow.
the end of the game, Coach Stacy, she was like crying, literally bawling her eyes out, and tells everybody on the team. Not everyone necessarily knew my story, but like they knew of something.
Yeah.
And she was like, "This girl, like she's been through so much, and she's put it all on the line." Um, and this, that, and the other. Fast forward to a week later, we were playing in Bahamas. I didn't have a ticket to go because I'm a walk on,
Yes.
right? Um, um, she pulled to the side. So they put me on the roster for the Bahamas. I get there, I end up playing, and I was like, there is no way. Um, so that was my junior year at San Diego State. I just kept on working, believing in the process. And then coming to my senior year, I was the off-season captain going into my senior year. And then first off the bench my senior year. At one point, I was shooting 60% from the three-point line. Um, it
Wait,
was our most winningest season up to that point. Yeah, 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 go ahead.
let me just ask you this though, because I think just even listening to your story, I'm like locked in. I'm locked in. But um, what role did your sister have in all this? I feel like she had a huge impact on you. Like how important was you
Oh,
think it
absolutely,
is to
absolutely.
have that support system and just people that was really looking out and having your back through all this? Like how important was that for you?
Yeah, I think when things happen that are traumatic in your life, you tend to see who are like the people closest to you that like really want good things for you. Um, and it's not ever for you as an individual to like cut people out. I think just over time they stay or they don't. And
Yeah,
so my sister, we're 11 months apart, so we're like really close.
yeah,
Besides the fact we both played basketball growing up together, so we understood each other's journeys for the most part, different but the same. To a hard worker I was, and like I mentioned earlier, I had the talent to play D1 coming out of high school. I just don't know. Like I think, like I said, I don't think I was worthy of it at the time,
yeah,
or I didn't see the opportunity, and my sister always saw it. So when the opportunity came of that transition D2 to D1, she was my biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter, and she knew like if I could just get in the door, that I would see the opportunity. So like till this day, I don't think half the things I've experienced or people that I've met, rooms I've stepped in, could have ever happened if I didn't graduate from San Diego State. And then it all just comes down to like my sister or family and people that believe in you. And like, I'm just affirming whatever's meant to be will be.
yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the nucleus of it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I just listening to it. That's the one thing that stood out to me was just understanding like you were very cognizant of the fact that other people were able to play their role in your life. And what kind of lessons would you say that you drew throughout your experience, having to work yourself to the point of getting a scholarship and getting yourself earning time? What were some of those lessons, even when you didn't see the immediate gratification of the work that you were putting in?
Um, I think the biggest lesson in it is that like even though nothing is coming to fruition yet, like keep working. The journey doesn't ever stop. And like from a faithful standpoint, you could always think like God wouldn't let me work this hard if he didn't have a plan for me.
Right.
Um and so yeah, I think like it ties into whatever's meant to be will be. If it means that this journey and my reps stop in 6 months from now, but along the way I learned a lot of things, then that's what it is. If it means like 2 months, 2 years, I got to keep doing this, then so be it. But I think as long as you know you're intentional on working hard, greatness will always come out of it. Just the time frame is you gotta put your head down and lock in.
Absolutely. I love that advice. And I know I read before in one of the articles I had seen when I searched it up. It was I forgot who posted it. Maybe it was the player's testimony. I read your article on there. And that's the
Okay.
that really made me like open my eyes a bit. And like looking back, what were some of the things that you kind of um, what helped you cope during that time? Like what were some of the things that helped you get through that experience of, having those thoughts of maybe not wanting to be here or things like that? Like how'd you kind of overcome those thoughts?
Being in California, you have access to like the water and the beach, and I'm a Pisces, so like the water is like my place of soothing.
Hmm.
Um, I will say going to the beach and listening to music. Music is another thing for me. I think like music is healing if you give it that power. Um, and there's different genres, different artists, that speak to you. Mine right now, or has been over the course of the years, especially during that time frame, was Janae Aiko. So like I would just listen to her, go to the beach, chill out. But I think it really just comes down to again, like people in your circle. It's trusting and believing in the people in your circle want the best for you. And then I know that everyone comes from a great house and you no matter what, and wants the best for you, whatever the best for you looks like, then just continue on that journey. The road gets lonely. It sure does. Like everyone goes through that in life, but don't ever give up because your biggest, proudest cheerleaders who are meant to be there will come out. Like
Hmm.
just trust in that.
So just trust in yourself, one, trust in your journey, surround yourself with the right people, and just know that your path has already
Yeah,
been ordered. This is what I'm hearing.
right. And I think also, I mean, my parents always raised me and my siblings like go get your blessings. No one can stop you from whatever you want in life.
Hmm.
And another thing, especially as a woman, my mom used to make us write down affirmations. It'll be like, I'm beautiful, like I'm a queen. My mom would always say, call my sister and I queens. She like, don't, she like put a crown on us. And she'd be like, don't ever let your crown fall, like straighten it, pick it up. So, especially when I mentor young ladies now, I always call them queens and I try and instill like goodness in them because if you don't think you're worthy of something, what makes you think someone else is going to think that you're worthy of it if you don't believe yourself?
Right.
So I think it's just speaking good things into yourself. And not like in a narcissistic way, but in a confident, positive way. Because if you don't think positively, you only track negative.
Right.
So yeah, just continuously being positive.
And so on that note, what is your hope? What is your life mission? Like this, if you could say that you want to do a couple things before it's all said and done, what would be that thing for you?
I don't, I've kind of thought about that question, but I've never like fully answered it.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily know for sure, but we'll just speak on it. For the most part, because I'm such like a vibrant person, I feel like people who are close to me, who meet me, who know me, just feel like my love and vibration. And I feel like that's like number one for me to like when I know you, just share my spirit with you. And I always want my people to win. Um, because I'm just like a loving person. So I think that's like one thing. And then from the career passion realm, um, I love mentoring kids as well, especially young ladies, like I said. So helping them be their biggest best self because we do have those negative and um down thoughts. So like just instilling goodness in the younger generations and younger athletes because they're the ones that are going to be leading us soon, right?
Yep.
Um, and again, like in my career field, it takes time to become notable, but I also know like I can do it.
Yeah.
So just continuously being on my journey, but sharing like love along the way. So I don't know. I think just continuously believing in my craft and trusting in the journey and knowing that I will be one of the most um credentialed or like
Start
notable
after.
sports
Yep. Start
performance
after.
coaches within the realm.
Yeah, talk
There you
that,
go.
talk
Sought
that
after. Give me
talk.
5 years top.
All right.
Give me 5 years. We just getting
You just getting started. Look,
started.
just getting started.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Now that's what's up. I really just want to
Yeah,
appreciate you for
I love it.
I just want to appreciate you for coming on today. I mean, you shared a lot of gems. I mean, whatever force out there was trying to stop this from happening, it still happens. You still got to record it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's good. So where can the people find you? Where can they find Loli Gomez, what she has going on, and how can they support you?
Yeah. My Instagram is Living with Loli. So just follow me there. I message everyone back. So you can DM me. I'm here for whatever you may need. Like if it's just someone to talk to, sports performance related, any, tips, young kids, mentoring. I'm trying to build a program for that as well. I have a TikTok. I'm trying to get it up and running
Yeah.
because I'm actually really goofy and people love that of me, but I just need to show it more. Um, so if you guys have any ideas on what to do, like goofy wise, let me know and I'm gonna get it on my TikTok. But yeah, my TikTok, IG, and yeah, I love to connect.
Got you. Got you. Pleasure to have you again. And that wraps it up for today. Make sure you guys, in any way that you can, support what she has going on. Just a great spirit, great human being. So if there's any way that you can, support or just even need help yourself, be sure to reach out to her. I'll put all her details in the show notes and things like that. So you guys can go out and check what an amazing thing she has going on. So again, appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Yes.